1 week ago, 8 lives were lost when a man opened fire at the FedEx Ground Plainfield Operations Center.
Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live from the scene where it all unfolded. She has the details on everything we've learned over the past 7 days. Kelsey, good morning. Take us back to the moment when this started.
Good morning, Megan. So it was here just after 11 p.m. on April 15th that shots started to ring out. 8 lives were lost, and the gunman, a former employee, and we're still waiting to see what that motive was.
Dispatch units in reference to 8951 Maribel Road.
The first 911 call came in at 11:07 p.m. The 911 center receiving 97 calls.
Be advised, another caller heard 10 shots from near the front of the entrance. Caller says possibly from inside. No further seen or heard. Less than 1 minute ago. 105 IMPD officers, along with state police troopers, chaplains, emergency personnel, and victim assistant units responding to the deadly scene.
They came in, they went in, and they did their job. And a lot of them are trying to face this because this is a sight that no one should ever have to see.
Within hours, the FBI was called to assist in the investigation. In total, investigators say the shooting lasted less than 4 minutes. When they arrived on scene, the gunman had taken his own life.
There was no confrontation with anyone that was there. There was no disturbance. There was no argument. He just appeared to randomly start shooting, and that began in the parking lot, and then he did go into the building, into the facility for a brief period of time before he took his own life.
8 lives were senselessly taken in the shooting. 4 victims were found outside and 4 were inside. These are their names and faces: Matthew Alexander, Samaria Blackwell, Amarjeet Johal, Jaswinder Kaur, Jaswinder Singh, Amarjeet Sekhan, Carly Smith, and John Weisert. 5 others were transported to the hospital that night with other injuries, some of them gunshot wounds. And then we also know that 2 people were treated here on the scene. We continue to learn more every single day about the shooter. Here's what we know right now.
We, as Indianapolis members, need to come together. We need to support each other and understand that there are going to be people out there that are going to be emotionally upset, and we need to support them regardless of any circumstance. This is a tragedy.
The gunman, Brandon Scott Hull, took his own life before police arrived at the scene. Hull was a former employee at the facility, working there for 2 months before being terminated in October 2020 for not showing up to work. His family releasing this statement on Saturday, 2 days after the incident, saying, quote, "We are devastated at the loss of life caused as a result of Brandon's actions. Through the love of his family, we tried to get him the help he needed. Our sincerest and most heartfelt apologies go out to the victims of this senseless tragedy. We are so sorry for the pain and hurt being felt by their families and the entire Indianapolis community." We learned on Sunday in March of last year, Hull's parents had alerted authorities that their son was having suicidal thoughts, including suicide by cop. At the time, a shotgun was confiscated from Hull and not returned. According to IMPD, Hull bought an assault rifle in July 2020 and another in September 2020, which left many wondering how this could happen. WRTV investigates Rafael Sanchez found the prosecutor's office decided not to seek a court order challenging his rights to gun ownership because it couldn't prove he showed a propensity for violence or emotional unstable conduct or failed to take prescribed medications.
One incident, he was treated by mental health professionals. They didn't civilly commit him. They didn't prescribe him any additional medication, and he was cut loose. And so for us, the risk is if we move forward with that proceeding and we lose, guess what happens? That firearm goes right back to that person.
IMPD also reporting they found Hull had visited white supremacist websites, giving Sikh community leaders more cause for concern that these attacks were racially motivated. The Sikh Coalition writing dozens of letters to law enforcement agencies and elected officials asking for a thorough investigation.
The fact that the shooter had reportedly been on white supremacist websites is a critical piece of new and relevant information. In this case, it's also undeniable that this FedEx facility was very well established as a place of employment for an extremely high number of Sikh employees, and the gunman knew that.
Again, investigators still have not released potential motives in the mass shooting, but will continue to follow every lead.
As we have done in other cases, the FBI will dedicate all available resources to follow every lead and use all investigative capabilities to seek justice and bring closure for the victims' families.
Now, the parking lot here at the FedEx facility is much busier this morning than it has been in days past. We've seen a lot of people coming and going for their shifts. Now, we do believe that there is a new security over here in place where they're having to check in with somebody before they can drive into that parking lot and go into that facility. So that's something new that we believe is happening this morning. Now, we also did reach out to FedEx to see when they thought they would reopen to full operations, and they told us they thought maybe later this week they would start doing some operations. But we heard from a staffer that they've been in the building since Monday. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.